About a year ago, I speculated that fractional shares will become a thing for Singaporean investors, and guess what? It's finally here! Hooray! This means that you can invest in any companies with just $1, and that is insane! Even with small sums of money, with as little as like $10, you can have a diversified portfolio of 10 different businesses. You can now buy things like Tesla, your Apple, your Coca-Cola, your Berkshire Hathaway. By the way, that's like the most expensive share I have ever seen in my life. And you can do that with Syfe Trade, which is the new broker in town. So Syfe Trade calls themselves a neo broker, which according to the description means innovative broker. That's how I perceive it. Currently, only the US stock market is available, but the CEO did say that he's trying to get this approved and working for the Singapore stock market. Which means if you haven't opened an account, you are truly missing out on fractional shares investing. Some of you might be wondering, okay, fine, Gerald, you've convinced me. Now I want to open, but wait, what should I look out for? Well, so that's what this video is for. So today, I'm going to run through with you a step-by-step guide on how to use Syfe, and more importantly, what are some of the pro tips to really maximize your money through this app. So hi everyone, my name is Gerald. Before you even open an account, there are a couple of questions you might ask. Number one, is Syfe actually safe? And based on my research, they are number one, MAS regulated. Number two, they have $500,000 in insurance in the event that something happens. And number three, there are no deposit fees, no withdrawal fees, no inactivity fees, no custodian fees, basically no hidden fees of any sort. In short, the water is clear, you can deposit your money and not have to worry about fees. So the app can be downloaded from the App Store, and the first thing you notice is the reviews are not like 5-star. There are some bad reviews talking about market delay, deposit problems, but overall I think most of the people that have used the platform seems quite happy with the platform. So I'm going to just go ahead and download the app and see what happens next, Once you have downloaded the app, you just open it and you'll be introduced to this beautiful blue background, and click New, click Syfe Trade to open a new account. Then I'm going to just, input my account details. I'm going to show you my password. If you sign up right now, they're having a special promotion where you can get up to $60 for just, number one, if you deposit $1,000 in one shot, you can get your first $30. So just to let you know, I made 2 deposits of $500 to test the different deposit methods. And guess what? I did not get the freebies. Number two, you need to make your first trade. So even if you buy just $1 worth of shares, you get to benefit the next $30 welcome bonus. And as an add-on, if I understand this correctly, if you use my promo code, you get an additional $10 sign-up bonus. Right now, I'm trying to get them to approve my promo code of Gerald. So check out the description below, I might change it already to Gerald. So to input the promo code, all you have to do is when they ask you for your referrals, just type Gerald or my promo code below. Or if you have already opened an account, what you can do is click on the menu on the top right hand corner, click on promotion or referral, then input my promo code. So hopefully you should still be able to get the referral bonus. So if you're brand new to investing, you actually need to meet the customer account review criteria. If not, all you have to do is to visit this link below. I'm just going to put it in the description below. This is just to make sure that everyone who invests have some basic knowledge of the risk involved in investing. So to create an account, all you have to do is you can either use SingPass or use manual sign up. So if you use SingPass, it takes less than 5 minutes to sign up. Basically, just log into your SingPass, approve all the details, and they will take all your information from SingPass, and therefore you are signed up. And regarding the US stock market, you have several forms to fill. The good thing is it's very easy to fill them all up. It's all digitally signed, unlike in the past where I had to manually print them out, sign them, and head over, to like one of the places in Marina Square to just submit my application form. Once your account is created, you are greeted with 3 top-up methods. Don't worry if you have accidentally closed the app or you've stopped registering midway. All you have to do is just re-log into your account and it should prompt you at the top to continue where you left off. And if you restarted the app for some reason, if you want to top up, all you have to do is click on the menu button, click on My Funds, and click on Top Up. So you'll be greeted with 3 different top-up options: the PayNow option, the bank transfer option, and the wire transfer option. So I've tried both PayNow and bank transfer, and there are several things you need to look out for. Number one, if you deposit in USD, Syfe doesn't charge fees, but your bank may charge you fees to send US dollars to Syfe. So before transferring US dollars in, you should give your bank a call to check if they allow such transfers. Not to mention, you can use alternative platforms such as TransferWise or even Revolut. But personally, I have not tried using, so I don't know if they really work. If you've tried using them before, let me know in the comment section so that others can learn. So to use PayNow, all you have to do is to copy the UEN number as well as the reference code. And it's really, really important to have the reference code correct so that it sends the money to your account. My recommendation is to copy both the account number, the UEN, and the reference code into like a notepad. Why this makes things organized rather than having to, unlock the Syfe account just to copy the number. And here's a pro tip. I actually use Google Pay to send my money in, and I was awarded a scratch card which gives extra money. So in Google Pay, all you have to do is transfer to UEN, and again, very, very important, make sure you get the reference number, copy it, paste it in, and send it in. And to my surprise, the transfer was instantaneous. Basically, when I went back to Syfe, the money's in. And if you want to use the bank transfer method, here's how it's done. For me, I use OCBC on my laptop, so I've signed into OCBC, add a new payee, and again, copy the bank account number, add it in, details in, add the number or the amount of money you want to send, click send to the pay, just like a regular bank transfer, and done. So based on my experience, PayNow is instantaneous during working hours, but if you use bank transfer, for me it took almost, I think, 1 or 2 hours, and then I received the money in. So the good thing is that when your money is in, all you have to do is just click on the top right hand corner, you see that little notification icon, and you should see that the money has been sent to your account. So you don't actually have to keep refreshing non-stop like what I did. And if you accidentally click onto the Syfe Wealth, if you're on the Syfe Trade platform, you'll be forced to open a new account. So you open any one of the Syfe Wealth account, and again click on the menu, then click on the Syfe Trade, and you should head back to the Syfe Trade account. Now that we've opened an account, let's talk about what stocks to buy. How do you even do research on this platform? Well, let me run through some of the basic user interface. So number one, how do you actually discover stocks? So click on the Discover tab, of course, and you'll be greeted with 3 tabs, basically the most popular stocks, top gainers, top losers. Usually I ignore this section, but the bottom part, you scroll down, you should see like sectors, market view, and themes. So this is where it gets really interesting. For me, right now, I'm very interested in FMCG, which is known as your fast-moving consumer goods. Think of your Colgate. Think of your Coca-Cola. Why? Because inflation is a persistent problem, and no one's going to skimp out on Sheng Siong just because inflation is here. And FMCGs tend to perform a little bit better in inflationary environment because they can just pass the price on to consumers. So by clicking on this, you can see all the different options that are available, and that's where it gets very interesting for you to do your research. Another thing that is very interesting for me is the similar to interest section that is right below the themes. This is because when you buy shares, what you want to do is to compare other companies that's similar to your portfolio to see if you're actually buying the best share that's in the industry, because you want to buy the best shares and not the second best, right? So this gives you a broad overview on how do you actually find ideas, themes to invest in. And now let's move on one step deeper, which is how to analyze individual companies. So all you have to do is click on the search icon, and you can type the company name or the ticker symbol if you know. So in my case, I'm going to type Tesla. And from here, you can see that there's 3 tabs: the Overview tab, the Analysis tab, and the News tab. So for the Overview tab, you can see things such as the PE ratios, the 2-year earnings per share, revenue, and EBITDA targets, as well as related companies to the company. So in my opinion, I think the data is very thin because 2 years is not enough to understand, the historical performance of a company. So if you need to find out more details, you can use things such as Yahoo Finance to see up to 5-year company history, and you see a lot of the numbers such as the book value, etc., etc. Additionally, one tip I've learned is that when you look at the stock chart, it's kind of hard to accurately see the historical prices because you can't slide your finger around it. The key is actually to tap on individual points instead of trying to slide, to see the price movement. And I've also realized that you cannot zoom in and out, and you cannot add like lines for technical analysis, for technical trading, basically. So for traders out there, this might not be the best tool to do your research on. So once you're happy with the overview, you can head over to the Analysis tab, where you can see what the professionals are saying about this company. So as you can see, for Tesla, most professionals or analysts from Wall Street thinks that you should buy Tesla. But it is worth noting that, on average, most hedge funds underperformed the market in 2021. So just going to prop up this chart for you. So again, you use this Analysis tab with a huge pinch of salt, like a whole tablespoon worth. No, bucket worth of salt. But it's helpful to know what the professionals are thinking about this company. Then you head over to the next tab, which is the news tab. And if you notice, all the news are from the Dow Jones Newswire, so it's not different platforms. Could be a little bit better, but having some news is better than no news. Great, so now you know how to analyze companies. How do you keep them on a watch list so that you can consistently follow up on these companies? All you have to do to create watch list is go over to the home page, click on the watch list button, and on the watch list page, there is a plus icon. Click on the plus icon and you can create a new watch list. So I've already created 2 watch lists and I named them Index and FANG. So let me just add one more so you can see how it works. To add a company into the watch list, you can either add the plus icon or you can search the stock. So for me, I decided to search Tesla or SPY in this matter. Then click on the heart and then choose the right watch list to add it into. So for me, once I add it in to the watch list, this is how it will show up. So it is worth noting that when you're trying to find stocks and shares to add in your watch list, I noticed that sadly you're unable to add like futures index into the watch list. Because personally, I like to see what the market thinks before the market is open so that I can, plan out and get some ideas on roughly how the market is going to perform. If you use other platforms such as Thinkorswim or Interactive Broker, you can actually add futures into your watch list. So just bear in mind, there are things that you could be missing out if you're using just the Syfe Trade platform. Again, if you want to sign up for Interactive Broker or Thinkorswim, I'm going to leave the link in the description below, so do check them out. And now on to the last part, which is how do you manage your portfolio? Just click on the portfolio button and that's really it. That's how you see your portfolio. On a more serious note, if you want to toggle between the currencies, like if you find USD is hard to wrap around and you prefer Singapore dollars, all you have to do is to click on the menu button on the top right hand corner, click on settings and toggle, like change from USD to Singapore dollars, like what I did, because I found Singapore dollars a little bit easier for me to comprehend how much money I actually have. And if you want to check how much US dollar versus how much Singapore dollars you have in your account, all you have to do is to click on menu, click on my funds, and you see the little question mark over there. Click on it and it should give you a breakdown of how much Singapore dollars versus how much US dollars you have. By the way, that took me a while to kind of figure out where that breakdown was. So now that we've ran through the basic interface, let's talk about how do you actually buy the shares. So I'm going to tell you straight up is that what I really love about Syfe Trade is the auto conversion feature. So what do I mean by that? Basically, when you top up like Singapore dollars, right, you don't have to convert it to US dollars and then buy US shares. You can straight away just buy and they would automatically deduct from your Singapore dollars if you don't have any USD. So they don't charge any fees for this service. But bear in mind, their USD rates are not as good as number 1, Mumu, and it's not as good as IBKR. But based on my research, it's just marginal difference and the convenience is just so fantastic. Not to mention, what I really love about Syfe Trade is the transparency, because most other brokers, they don't have this big pop-up that tells you whether you're paying any fees, what price you're buying at, so it's fantastic. Basically, you don't have to worry about paying fees that you're not informed of, and you don't need to actually use the currency exchange option when you're trying to buy stocks or shares. Just deposit Sing dollars and you can buy straight away. When it comes to trading fees, right now they're having a special promotion in which you have 5 free trades a month, but that's going to be reduced to 2 free trades a month. So what they said is you're going to have basically perpetual free trades, or at least 2 free trades every single month, and that is like super awesome, the first of its kind in Singapore. So when you find a stock that you like and you want to buy, the first thing you will notice is that you are greeted with 4 options. Basically, you can buy in dollars, you can buy in shares, you can limit order, or you can stop order. So buy in dollars means you can set however amount you want to buy. The minimum is $1, and if you want to buy in shares, the minimum is 1 share. And if you set limit order, basically what this means is that you set the price you want to buy. So let's say if a share is $100, you say you only buy it if it's like $95. That's what limit order means. For stop order, it's a complicated ordering mechanism, so I advise you to not touch it unless you know exactly what you're doing. It is important to note that when it comes to buying through the Syfe Trade platform, it follows the US stock market opening hours, which is like in Singapore time, starting from 10:30 p.m. onwards. So this means no pre and no post-market trading, and I do not advise you to trade outside of the US stock market hours because the fees are and the spread is just high, basically fees. So once you find the stock that you want to buy, in my case, I decided to buy SPY because Warren Buffett says buying the US stock index is fantastic. Click on the buy icon and set the price you want to buy. So for me, I just want to buy $1 worth. So once you press the buy button, it will bring you to this review page. So I recommend leaving the review page on so that you can always make sure that you're not, paying any unnecessary fees and you know exactly what you're buying. And based on my experience buying and selling a few times, I noticed that if you buy based on dollars, it is a relatively good price. So it's not like they are trying to, earn from a spread of any sort. And if they do, it's marginal and I actually don't notice the difference. When I tried buying fractional shares, I had a lot of questions like your voting rights, your corporate actions, your splits, your dividends, and I actually went to check. Like when you buy fractional shares, you actually have voting rights. So you have fractional votes. That's one. And if there are any corporate actions, it's exactly the same. You'll be informed and you can choose to take action as a shareholder, even if you own like 0.002 like I do. So when it comes to dividends, it is prorated to the amount of shares that you have. So even if it's fractional, you get fractional dividends. But bear in mind that your dividends are not auto reinvested. So that's the difference between the Syfe Wealth and the Syfe Trade. So if this video has been helpful for you so far, do me a big favor and smash that like button for support so that others can learn how this wonderful platform works. Now that you've bought shares in an awesome company, it's time to cash out. And the question is, how do you actually sell? So the first thing to do is check what stocks or shares that you actually own. To do that, just go to the portfolio and you should see like the big sell button right there. So when you sell, you're greeted with 4 options basically to sell in dollars, sell in shares, limit order, and stop order. Again, it's very similar to buy order. If you sell in dollars, you're just selling the dollar amount. Shares is the amount of shares you own. Limit order is, setting a price in which you sell it. So usually limit order, people will sell above the market price. So let's say this price is $100, you want to limit your, to sell it at, say $110. So when it reaches that price, it would automatically sell. For stop order, it's basically an advanced mechanism. I would avoid touching that unless you absolutely know what you're doing. And in my case, since I only have fractional shares, I can only sell in dollars or I can sell in shares. So if I try to use like limit or stop orders, basically it would just fail. It says unable to do so unless I have 1 share at least. So now I'm in the sell dollars or sell shares page. And if you want to sell, you can take a shortcut and you just click on the sell all button, or you can input the specific numbers you want. Once that's done, swipe right and you should see the review page. Again, I would highly recommend leaving the review page on and you can review all the details, including whether this is a free trade or is a paid trade. So once you have done the trade, again, it's very helpful to check the notification bell to confirm that the trade has gone through. So you learn how to buy shares, you learn how to sell shares, and you made some gains, unlike me, which I've kind of made some loss and don't tell people. Then you'll be wondering, how do you actually withdraw your money from the Syfe Trade platform? What I've noticed is that when you're trying to withdraw money from the Syfe platform, it's a lot slower. When I deposit through PayNow, it was instantaneous. When I used bank transfer to send my money in, it was, I think, 1 or 2 hours long. But for withdrawal, I've waited over 3 hours and it's still not out yet.
24 hours later.
But then again, it's free compared to other platforms like Thinkorswim, which charges like $25 for you to just withdraw your money. So can't complain there. One thing to note is that if you withdraw in Singapore dollars, it's probably free. But if you try to withdraw in US dollars, you need to check with your bank whether they would charge you a fee. Because for Syfe it's free, but your bank may charge you to receive US dollars. So again, you want to call your bank to double check that's correct. I've not used TransferWise, so I don't know if it works. So take note that when you want to withdraw your money, it doesn't do the auto conversion figure. So you kind of need to check how much of each currency you have. So you can basically convert them all to one currency with the currency conversion feature. So once you click on the withdraw funds button, you need to basically add an account if you want to be able to withdraw. So for me, I'm going to add my bank account details, then click save, and then your bank account will appear at the bottom. Once you have confirmed that the details are correct, double check that it's correct, click request for withdrawal, and bam, check again the notification bell that you have withdraw the money successfully. It takes a while to show up on the main dashboard page, so don't keep refreshing like I do. And voila, you've learned how to use the Syfe Trade platform. What do you think? Was this instructional video very clear? Was it too fast? Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. And check out what YouTube recommends you over here, or check out what interests you over here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.